This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Warm Audio WA87R2. The R2 stands for Revision 2, I would guess. It is a microphone. A microphone is a microphone is a microphone. Let me preface this whole thing by saying that whatever microphone you have is fine, but there are plenty of microphones to choose from. This is one. Now, well loved and revered in the world of, audio is the Neumann U87. This is based off of the original U87 that was used in the 60s and 70s, and everybody loved them, and they're super expensive now. Before you think about buying any kind of vintage Neumann, look up some pictures of like the capsules of vintage Neumann microphones, or any vintage microphone. Look up what the capsules look like, and you'll just see a lot of people's like spit and snot. It's gross. You can get it cleaned, but that costs money too. Anyway, so what this microphone does is it attempts to recreate the sonic experience that you would get from a Neumann 87 of a certain vintage. Why do you want that? Well, because lots of famous people and records have used this microphone. Why did I get it? Well, because I don't have a U87 clone in my collection right now, and I thought it was time to get one. And also, I don't have any multi-pattern microphones in my collection right now. And this, unlike a lot of other U87 clones, is a multi-pattern microphone. You can see here on the box, it has a little O, that's Omni. Then it has a little butt. That butt is cardioid, where, this is the back of the mic and the round front is the round part is the front. And then it has figure of 8, which means both sides of the capsule are capturing sound. I don't have a mic that does that. So I want to have a mic that does that. So I got this one, and I'll probably get a couple of more to try things like mid-side miking and, Bloomlin or whatever it's called. Anyway, so I got this mic. It is less expensive than an actual U87. Now, the U87AI is the current model, and it is thousands of dollars. This is hundreds of dollars. Thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, dozens of dollars for a microphone does not matter. What matters is being good at using them. And you would think, well, a microphone, how do I get good at using a microphone? Well, the truth is you get good at using a microphone by using a microphone and then listening to what it does when you use it, and then saying like, oh, that sounds like garbage. And, maybe if you're like me, I had plenty of people when I was working in studios and recording in studios that taught me different techniques to use microphones. And so that's why I know that if I want to get more proximity effect, I can bring this microphone right up here to the front of my face, and I can talk into it like this. Or I can put it back here where it's kind of out of the way and it still picks up my voice. And yeah, anyway, let's get this out of the box. So it's got some foam, and then it's got this bag is not a toy. Warm Audio catalog, it looks like. Warm Audio has a lot of good gear that's relatively reasonably priced compared to like what you would spend to get the real thing. And so, it's got stickers. This used to be called the Tone Beast, and this was their thing. Here's the Tone Beast, yeah. And then they had like half rack units, and then they went and they did EQP WA, they did WA2A, they did WA76, they did a bus compressor. They also did a WA73 series that mimics that recreates, I guess, or approximates the legendary British console Neve 1073 microphone preamp and EQ. I've actually recorded on a 1073 Neve board, and honestly, I don't know if I could tell you the difference. between what I would record with this too. They have also this API Chicago style preamp over here, but it's not in this catalog. Why not? I don't know. They branched out to microphones. This is the Sony 8000. This is the W87 that we're talking about here. The WACX12, the C12 was incredibly well known back in the day. The WA47 Junior. They also have a 47 that's based off of U47, which was the tube version of the WA87. So they've got all kinds of new stuff. They've got, and all of it is good. All of it is good. I mean, there have been hardware recreations of gear for many, many years, and they've all been of varying degrees of good. Warm audio has generally been very good. I've used the WA73 EQ. I've used the 76. I've used the 2A. I've used a lot of them, and they're all very good. We have two microphone adapters, microphone jack adapters, cable adapters, whatever. And then we have this giant basket. This is your shock mount. They call it a shock mount, not because it's shocking, but because it's got rubber bands all over the place. And these rubber bands keep the microphone from transferring a bump or anything else that might be happening that would move the mic or affect the mic. The shock mount is supposed to absorb a lot of that. Whether it does or not, I'm not sure. And then they also give you just a regular mic stand adapter for it. And these all attach the microphone this way. You've got a little captive screw here that just screws it in. A word of caution. A lot of times you get this, and this is just plastic. And if you over tighten it, it will break and it will be annoying. Let's get the box. All right, off that. Here we have the box. It looks like something that you might receive your cat back from the crematorium in, but it's not. It's a microphone case. It has the Warm Audio logo on here. This is like a little rubberized logo. Nice. It's got some clasps around the back, hinges on the bottom, sticker with some kind of serial number. So the clasps, just lift the clasps. And then, velvety. So nice. And here is the microphone. Oh, she's a big one. Wow, she's a heavy one too. So yeah, nice velveteen cradle. It's nice to have these boxes to keep these microphones in. I find that I don't change microphones often enough and go from one microphone to the other that I end up storing the microphones in their boxes. But they're nice boxes to store things in if you so desire. Now, here we go. Wow. I did not okay, so this has a bespoke Cinemag transformer in it. That's one of the big differences between the first version and this one. It has a new head basket design. That's one of the big differences between the first version and this new one. It also is brass in the enclosure and, has a nickel coating, but is actually brass, and the brass does impart some sonic stuff to it. Down here we have our input jack, and here's where you attach the shock mount, or this guy, just like so. You see? You just twist it on there, and it's twisted. And then you put this on your mic stand. I found that it's better to put this on the mic stand before. And this is why they give you two of these, because this is a regular mic stand size. Then I think this is 3/8. This is, I don't know. Anyway, 1/4 inch? No. Anyway, they give you these adapters, and then if you want to sometimes you need a smaller one even still to get down to a 1/4 20. Holding this in my hand, I can't tell you like the weight of this. I've had many of these in my hands before, And they've been everything from light as a feather, and there's just a printed circuit board in there that, doesn't have a big fat transformer. Let me see if I can unscrew this baby. Yeah, here we go. Let's unscrew it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. The head basket comes loose. I'm just got to keep it. Oh, there it goes. So you can just slide this right off. And here's what I'm talking about. Now, there is a printed circuit board and there's some electronics and stuff. It's pretty simple, but then you turn it around and here's that Cinemag transformer, a lot bigger than other Cinemag other transformers. And this is what helps it get a sound that is closer to the sound of the original. I could take the basket off as well and show you the mic element, but maybe I'll do that in another video. I just wanted to show you, like there we go. Nice and tight on there. So here we have, see, the different polar patterns. Cardioid is where you will most usually use it. Then over here you have Omni. That gives you 100% circular, everything in the room, pickup pattern. And then figure of 8 where you pick up on this side and you pick up on this side. So if I was singing here and someone else was singing there, we would both have enough rejection. The polar patterns are all about rejecting sound. So cardioid rejects everything that's back here. You can have a bunch of different cardioids. There's supercardioid, there's hypercardioid, there's cardioid. This is just straight up cardioid. And so everything that comes at it this way in sort of a balloon / butt configuration will get picked up. But everything here, this is what they call the null point. Everything in the back of the mic won't be picked up. So if you have a person playing guitar over there and you don't want to pick it up, you point the mic toward them. You have a 10 dB pad. The pad means that, think of it as you are basically throwing a blanket on this thing that will knock the sound down by 10 decibels. So if you're using this on louder sources, guitar amp, drums, anything like that, and you find that you're struggling to get the microphone to get to the right level and not peak out, then just hit that guy. And then you've got an extra 10 dB to turn it up. People don't use the pad as often as they probably could or should use the pad. I'm guilty of this. So I'm guilty of this. Maybe you are too. Using the 10 dB pad can really be helpful. The output on this version of the microphone is supposed to be a little bit greater, and that's always a good thing to have a little bit more output. But don't forget you got that 10 dB pad. We have here the low cut, high shelf, whatever you want to call it. If this is a straight line, here it has a little line. On the bottom, it looks like a division symbol that you used to use in school. What is the value of the low cut? Low cuts usually are active at, say, like 60 or 80 dB, maybe 128. So this engages an 80 hertz high-pass filter. 80 hertz high-pass filter, which means basically that anything below 80 hertz will get taken away from the microphone. You can use that, or you could leave it. If you are doing something in a live setting, using it would be helpful to the engineer, yourself, or someone else to just not have to worry about that. Most preamps, most everything else has some sort of low cut feature as well. Some people love to leave it unengaged so they get all the information, but for most sources, guitars, vocals, all that kind of stuff, everything below 80 hertz is garbage. that you don't need in your signal, so you want to take it away to leave space for the things that do have some 80 hertz information, like the bass or the bass guitar, lower frequency instruments. So this is the WA-87 Mark II. Revision 2. I'm looking forward to using it because this is the kind of mic that if you were only going to have one mic in your studio, something like this, a U87 clone of some kind, would be a really good place to start. Sometimes I don't like to use condenser microphones because they pick up everything. And in my house, sometimes the heater goes on, like it is right now. So you use a dynamic microphone, it doesn't quite have the same sensitivity. But if you're just starting out and you want one sort of golden microphone, something like the WA-87 R2 would be a great place to start. How and where to put it, how and where to put your face, just 6 inches is always a good place to start. You can go further back and get a more roomy sound. You can go closer and get the proximity effect. I can go through all of these things. That's not the scope of this video, but I can go through all of the different ways to get different sounds with the same mic on different stuff. If you would want to see that, I'd be happy to do it. This is a great all-around do-everything mic. So is this. This is the SM7B, which you've probably seen all over the place in all different kinds of use cases. I've used the SM7B on almost everything all the time. It's always up on my desk, and I can always use it. These two this is the dynamic equivalent of the U87 in my book. Some work better for others. This might work great for some people. This might work great for others. People will tell you, oh, you got to find the microphone that works for you. Any microphone can work for you. This is just one that is better at working with more. Okay, so if you want to see a video of sounds that I've recorded and use cases that I have with the U87 style microphone, let me know down in the comments below, and I will happily make that video. If you want to see anything else, if you have any other questions about audio, about technology, about whatever, just let me know. I'm here. I'm at your service, people. I'm at your service. So let me know what you would like to see, and I'll do it. Otherwise, thanks so much for being here. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. I hope you come back again soon. I hope you hit the subscribe button and like the video and do all those things. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back again. I'm so glad that we could continue to spend time together. If you would like to be more involved and help out this venture that I have going on, the JTL community, then we have a membership program that you can get into just down below on the video as well. Hit that sign up for the membership button, the join button, and we've got new stuff coming out in 2025 that will be part of the membership program that will include extra video content that other people won't get and a lot of other fun things. I'm even taking suggestions of what you might like to see in a membership tier, and it doesn't cost very much money. So hit that button, become a member. We'll just keep this thing rolling. Otherwise, thanks so much for being here. Until the next time, I'm out.